This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a possible fourth victim of a suspected Tampa serial killer. A body was found this morning in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. That's the same area where someone shot and killed 3 people last month. Tampa police are stopping everyone in the neighborhood and asking residents not to leave their homes. Police say residents reported hearing several shots just before 5 a.m. When officers arrived, they found the body of 60-year-old Ronald Felton in the street. They say Felton had been walking across the street to meet someone when the gunman came up behind him and fired. Since the October murders, officers have gone door to door, making sure they don't miss any information or clues that could lead to the arrest of the shooter. Police have received hundreds of tips but have fallen short on solid leads so far. Here at home, a movie based on the life of legendary golfer will be filmed on the Suncoast. The production is moving here after Hurricane Maria wiped out shooting in Puerto Rico. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us now with this exclusive story. Ray?
Scott, a movie about golfer Chichi Rodriguez called Bullfighter on the Green will begin filming here as soon as next month. About an hour ago, Sarasota County Commissioners approved an incentive package requested by Film Commissioner Jeannie Corcoran. Now, if the movie makers spend $400,000 here, the county will offer a rebate up to $80,000. Corcoran says she's happy to have the project here, but she's sad it comes due to the negative conditions in Puerto Rico where the production was originally planned.
We have great sympathy for what Puerto Rico has gone through and is still going through, but we are all this Gulf Coast region, we are all the tropical region, and it's great that we can be of help and that they don't have to go to another country or they don't have to go to another island community outside the United States, so we're very grateful to help.
Chichi Rodriguez is an 82-year-old golfer from Puerto Rico. Corcoran credits him with breaking golf's ethnic barriers and height barriers. He was 5'7". So you might see him in Sarasota County during filming next month, as well as narrator Freddie Munoz, former star of the Fox sitcom Malcolm in the Middle. So Scott, Bullfighter on the Green is coming to Sarasota County.
All right, great to have Chichi back in town again. All right, thank you so much, Ray. More now from Puerto Rico, where the military is transitioning relief efforts to the National Guard. Lieutenant General Jeffrey Buchanan says the decision was made by Puerto Rico's governor, FEMA, and the Defense Department. Buchanan says the island is far from normal, but much progress has been made, like the clearing of debris from most roads. Still, 2 months after the hurricane, the power is still not on in more than half of Puerto Rican homes and businesses, and the water's out for more than 1 in 10. Something fishy at a weekend event to raise money for Alzheimer's disease. Participants taking part in the Alzheimer's Walk had to deal with at least 200 dead fish that were in the lake at Nathan Benderson Park. Some of the people who took part in that event say they felt ill from the smell of the dead fish. County officials still trying to figure out how this happened.
Somebody said it smells a little bit like red tide, and I said my throat's a little bit sore too. And then we started seeing a dead fish and then another dead fish, and as we're going, like not a big clump of them, but every little step along the way there was another dead fish in the water.
When we started walking and seeing all the dead fish, I noticed that my coughing started to pick back up again, and I started to have like more of an itchy throat than I was already dealing with.
In a statement from SANCA, the organization that oversees the park, its president says, we are currently working closely with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to investigate the recent issue of dead fish surfacing within the lake at Nathan Benderson Park and hope to resolve it soon. Gonna check on our weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi, and what a beautiful morning it was on the Suncoast. Just a delightful cooler breeze and clear
Couldn't agree
skies.
with you more.
Yeah.
Lower humidity.
Yeah. Good
Nice blue skies, deep blue
Yeah.
skies. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous out there. And this afternoon, I think our daytime high temperatures are going to top out very pleasant around the 80-degree mark. So can't beat that. That's like the perfect weather.
Yeah, I know.
And tomorrow even gets better. Whether you see that. We're looking at Vanaway's webcam put into motion, showing just blue sky out there. Nothing in the way of any rain showers that should mar the afternoon. Everything looks pretty good and on track for a beautiful afternoon. Daytime highs will be very mild thanks to all the sunshine out there, and there's plenty of it around. Take a look at the satellite view of the Suncoast, and I don't see any cloud cover anywhere nearby that could impede a otherwise gorgeous afternoon. There are some clouds over on the other coast right now, and we could see some high, thin clouds come by, but still, that won't block the sun prevent us from reaching temperatures that'll be in the 80s. A little bit of rain shower activity over on the other coast, but those showers like they have over the last couple of days kind of dissipate before ever bothering us too terribly much. We'll go for a daytime high that tops out near the 80-degree mark and then tapers off pretty quickly, maybe a little more quickly today than it did yesterday after the sun sets because the air is just a little bit drier. Dew points are lower. That means a cooler night tonight. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Attorney General Jeff Sessions returning to Capitol Hill today and amid growing evidence of contacts between Russians and associates of President Trump. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest now.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions is back in the hot seat on Capitol Hill.
But I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied.
The House Judiciary Committee looking for answers about Sessions' knowledge of Trump campaign contacts with Russians after testifying last month he wasn't aware of any. That testimony undermined by revelations from the guilty plea of a former Trump campaign advisor and now nearly overshadowed by news Sessions authorized the Justice Department to consider a special counsel look into allegations regarding Hillary Clinton.
I believe the proper thing for me to do would be to recuse myself from any questions involving those kind of investigations that involve Secretary Clinton that were raised during the campaign, or could be otherwise connected to it.
Despite that pledge during his confirmation hearing, the Justice Department suggested in a letter that prosecutors would examine allegations that donations to the Clinton Foundation influenced a decision by the Obama administration to allow a Russian agency to buy the Nuclear One company. The move comes just days after the president said this.
And all of that dishonesty, they should be looking at a lot of things, and a lot of people are disappointed in the Justice Department, including me. Thank you, everybody.
And critics are now questioning whether the independent Justice Department is now being called to do the president's political bidding. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump Jr. exchanged private messages with WikiLeaks during the 2016 presidential campaign. According to the released messages, WikiLeaks reached out to the president's oldest son in September of last year regarding a PAC-funded anti-Trump website. This is noteworthy because investigators believe Russia stole information from a hack of the Democratic National Committee through WikiLeaks. And again, there are several investigations into possible links between the Trump campaign and Russia. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a new study involving gestational diabetes. What doctors are saying mothers should do in between pregnancies to avoid it. And a 12-year-old girl is suing U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions to legalize medical marijuana nationwide. How her case is holding up so far.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $11,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
And nice outside, 79-degree air temperature, lots of sunshine out there. Dew points in the mid-60s right now. I think it'll drop even lower as we head through the evening hours. East-northeast wind coming in at about 15. It's a little breezy out there, and certainly boaters exercise a little caution out there today. Those winds will be picking up again tonight, it looks like. 79 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, 80 Mayaca City, 78 in Parrish, 79 degrees in Bradenton. Temperature south, 81 degrees in Northport, 81 in Venice, 77 in Boca Grande. Looking at a beautiful day today that's anywhere you look, anywhere from 1 to 4 degrees above where it was 24 hours ago at this hour. And that's the way it's been running all day long. A few places are the same, but for the most part, it's slight, did I say warmer? Cooler. Slightly cooler day today than it was yesterday. And today's daytime high will be slightly cooler than it was yesterday, coming in around 80 degrees. Plus, tonight will be cooler as well because dew point values to the north of us are still lower than they are here, and the winds out of the north will continue to draw down a little bit of that drier air. So it won't be a huge difference, but it'll be, 5 degrees maybe cooler when you wake up tomorrow morning. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, building in behind the frontal boundary that came through yesterday. That directs our winds out of the northeast, kicks up a few showers over on the other coast. And we watch 2 other low pressure areas back to the west. One of them coming through on Saturday promises us a cool down as well. And then another one further back to the west may be visiting us close to Thanksgiving Day with a chance of showers then. We'll be watching that to kind of nail down the exact timing. It's still 10 days out, but some computer models suggest it'll be moving through here on Thanksgiving Day. So it's worth watching. High pressure, the dominant weather feature today, again bringing us a sinking dome of beautiful sunny skies, dry air. A little bit of cloud cover over on the other coast from those onshore showers because of the onshore wind. And we get a little bit of the high thin clouds from time to time across our region, but no rainfall. Mostly sunny skies, this breezy wind that continues probably through tomorrow afternoon. I would think that we have elevated wind speeds and just a little bit cooler by a few degrees. So really almost perfect weather. You can see all this dry air at mid and upper levels indicated here by the tan colorizations that is kind of filtered in across the state, eliminating really any rainfall chance for us. And only right along the immediate Atlantic coastline with that wind coming onshore would you have enough moisture to support rain showers around. As you can see here, getting a few popping up, and then as they move inland, they really do dissipate. Look at the color of the echoes here, all a very light pale green, indicating dissipation, or really not even reaching the ground, some of them, compared to the yellows, and even a few reds on the offshore showers, indicating a much higher return rate on the radar beam. So some pretty good rain showers out on the Atlantic coast, but not for us. Across the nation, pretty quiet. Nothing here that's a big bother. If you are traveling or have loved ones that are traveling, it shouldn't be a big issue. Pacific Northwest may be a little bit of a problem, but otherwise the entire United States is looking pretty good right now. We have across our region that north wind coming in at about 15 knots on the water, with this evening kind of subsiding a little bit before it starts taking off again during the overnight, northeast at about 20. So watch for that, boaters. Again, we'll watch for those winds to be elevated tomorrow as well. Light a little bit cooler tomorrow, and then on Saturday that next front comes through, 30% chance of late showers, and then temperatures dropping down in the low 70s. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you so much. 1 in 7 births are impacted by gestational diabetes, a condition that causes high blood sugar during pregnancy. Now, recent research by the World Diabetes Federation shows not shedding enough weight between pregnancies can increase a woman's risk of gestational diabetes. The study looked at more than 24,000 mothers and found women who gained as little as 6 pounds in between pregnancies had an increased risk of developing the gestational diabetes. Doctors say they might need to change their practices because of this new finding.
The test that we usually do at week 24 to 26 to determine if someone's blood glucose is normal during pregnancy, perhaps we need to do it earlier.
Dr. Cooper says while the study does not show why even a small amount of weight gain can impact a woman's health risk, it does give doctors another tool for how they counsel women who are having a second baby. The American Heart Association has changed the definition of hypertension for the first time in 14 years. The changes are expected to drastically impact adult Americans, revising the high blood pressure threshold downward. That will increase the percent of U.S. adults who are living with high blood pressure from 32% to 46%, nearly half of the adult population. The old standard was 140/90, and this newly revised standard is now 130/80. A 12-year-old is suing U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions to legalize medical marijuana nationwide. Her family moved to Colorado to access medical marijuana to help manage her epilepsy. A drop of THC twice a day has kept her seizure-free for 2.5 years now. But Alexis Bortel says the federal law restricting medical marijuana use prevents her from returning to her home state of Texas.
I would like to be able to visit my grandparents without risking being taken to a foster home.
Bortel has intractable epilepsy, which means she has seizures that traditional medications cannot cure or control. Another child, a marijuana advocacy group, a military vet, and a former Denver Broncos player have all joined the lawsuit. The U.S. lost its first motion to dismiss the case. All right, time now to get over to the kitchen where our friend Chef Larry Barrett from Simply Gourmet joins us again today. Larry, great to see you again. What are you preparing for us?
Today is a great day. It's tenderloin with a persillade sauce, which is garlic and parsley, scallop. Well, I'm going to show it to you. Just a minute. Thanks.
Thanks, Larry.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Suncoast has a very active farm and dairy industry. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more in a place we call home.
The Dakin family has been milking cows for a living for almost 70 years. Pete Dakin started back in Maine in 1948. He had 16 cows. By 1960, he had 60 cows, and he milked another 30 cows down the road every day. In 1963, he made a trip to Florida.
He came down here in the wintertime to bring a friend, mom and dad down here, and he came down and seen what the weather was, and when he went back home, he told Mom, everything we own, pack it if it won't fit in the trunk of the car, it's not coming to Florida.
In 1968, he put what he'd learned up north to use and bought a dairy in Manatee County.
I'm just amazed that he did it, because it just gave us, all us boys, opportunity down here to grow, where in Maine, you don't see the growth like you've seen here in Florida.
Pete Dakin and his wife have 4 sons. All 4 went into the dairy business. Jerry started small.
Back in '97, it was me and one guy. And that's we started with 237 cows.
Today they have 2,200 cows and 80 employees. They milk the cows 3 times a day. It takes about 4 minutes a cow.
We got 1,200 acres here that we farm, and we grow the grasses that we feed the cows. Every day we feed them fresh green grass.
And he says the grass is the secret of their extraordinary milk.
We really focus on feeding fresh grass. It's growing all the time. We always looked at rotational grazing, where the cows move from pasture to pasture. Our thing is our cows will have to walk 2 to 3 miles. We've came up with a thing where we cut the grass every day and we bring it to them.
He says the dairy business has changed since his father's day.
He made money and we just kind of survived. It was easier back then. There's just so much regulation, and there's a lot of things you have to do now to be in a dairy business, and that's why we've seen a lot of our dairy friends go out of it.
There used to be 38 dairies in Manatee County. Now there are 3, and less than 100 dairies left statewide. Jerry says he is blessed to be able to call this place home and to work with the animals.
It's my passion. God made me, God gives you a passion, and cows is my passion, and it just, I enjoy it.
School kids come out here to tour Dakin Dairy all the time, and it's also open for public tours on 11 o'clock on the days the school kids come and on Saturdays. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Let's now move over to the kitchen.
Didn't do that.
John is there with our good friend, Chef Larry Baer from Simply Gourmet.
He did that, Larry. He did it. He did the moo thing.
He did the move?
Speaking of moo, we're going to have a little tenderloin today.
Well, there you go. That's quite a segue right there. There
well,
we go.
I tried to steer it in that direction.
Now, this is a tenderloin. I've seared it off. I'm going to get it a little warm, though, and add a little sizzle to the segment, as it were.
Nice.
This is a persillade sauce. The Latinos call it chimichurri.
Okay.
French persillade. I've made it my own. You could use this on chicken, beef, fish. It's amazing. It's one of those all-purpose sauces. And in fact, I've been using a lot more of these kind of relishes and sauces. They're room temperature. They're easy to use. They stay in the refrigerator for a week or 2. It's fantastic.
Based with fresh herbs, so it's got a lot of flavor.
And I'm going to serve it with a little autumn vegetable melange, which is, I believe, the French word for expensive vegetables. And then here we go. Look, here it is, just a little bit of scallion, right? So we'll take the scallion, and let me just grab this bowl, monsieur.
Sure.
And a little scallion, off we go. A little bit of chopped garlic, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt. And what would this dish be without capers? A little explosion of flavor. A lot of people say, hey, you know what? I really don't like olives, but I love capers. And a lot of people say, I like capers, but I don't like olives. I can't figure it out. I'm not going to try.
No, don't.
Here we go. A little black pepper, and then some chopped parsley. A lot of people say, always use Italian flat leaf parsley. I'm going to tell you something. I've tried them both for 22 years. I like the curly parsley better. But I don't put it on a plate as a garnish. I chop it up, and it comes out a little nicer. You know, it fills up a little bit more. And I'll add quite a bit of that. And then grab a fork. Also, one of the most important things, in chimichurri, always lime. right?
Right.
Now
you're going lemon.
I'm going lemon, and that's the way it's going. I'm going to cut a lemon in half and use a little bit of the juice, too.
Now, am I wrong about this? But does chimichurri usually use cilantro?
Cilantro, yes. But when we do large parties for like 200 people, I swear, 50% of the people hate cilantro.
Yeah.
It tastes soapy. It tastes soapy.
Well, it does to them.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
They lack some enzyme, as I understand it.
Something like that, too. You know, it's just a weird thing. And then just add enough olive oil, extra virgin. You have to use extra virgin. And then just mix that up until it gets nice and sort of wet, like that. And a little bit more. And you could see, lovely.
It's beautiful.
It's a
so I'm
beautiful
guessing
thing.
that you're not putting this one in a blender.
No blender, not necessary.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take these vegetables, which we have cooking. I'm also going to put one of them, I've been cooking these since I'm 14 years old. Just a little, I call them tomatoes oreganata.
And what does that mean?
It's tomato hollowed out, breadcrumbs, garlic, and a little drizzle of olive oil popped under a broiler. It's a beautiful garnish, but it's also a really nice low-cal veg on the side. And it's easy to do, and people really do seem to love it. And I like it, so.
That's what matters.
And that's what matters to me. Let me, what happened to my tongs?
Well, I don't
Here
know.
they are.
Oh, there they are. Those elusive tongs.
And then we'll give it a little slice. And
What was the tapping of the knife for exactly?
just to get any extraneous, like parsley or scallion off. It's turned into a habit of mine.
It has. I've noticed that. Yes.
I always do one of these.
It's like a little preparation for the cut.
It is. You know what? It's like a pitcher warming up.
Exactly.
Or the golf. What do they call that?
What? I don't know. Practice swing.
Yeah, there you go. Good enough. But everybody's got their little thing they do before that physical activity. I'll just take this beautiful. This is a beautiful.
Oh, it's
medium
gorgeous.
rare. And you know, we'll shingle it out like that. And maybe let's see if we could, well, I don't like the way that piece looks like, so let's flip it over. And you know, of course, my hands are immaculately clean. They have to be. I'm a chef.
That's right.
Right next to a surgeon. We have the
About
cleanest
45
hands.
left.
Beautiful. I think it's going to work out fantastic. You know what? I'm going to put these 2 tomatoes on there just like that, and then hit the whole plate with a little bit. See when there's a little schmutz on the plate? You could wipe it off if you want to. But you know what? You also cover it with a little parsley like so. And there you are.
And the chimichurri goes where?
The chimichurri now goes right on top of the beef.
And while you get that all ready to go, I'll remind everyone
look at
that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go there, hit the dining button, and check it out. Okay, we called it chimichurri, but you also called it?
Persillade.
Persillade.
And I also call it AKA scallion citrus sauce.
Love it. Larry, thanks very much. Always a
Very
pleasure.
nice. Thank you so
Wait
much,
to
John.
tuck in. It's lunchtime.
Yes, my friend.
We'll be right back.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
We asked our customers, why is Consumer Cellular your choice in wireless?
Consumer Cellular helps me save money. It's simple and easy.
It is reliable.
I like the fact that there are no contracts.
By moving to Consumer Cellular, my cost is 50% less than it was.
They fit the plan to you.
I have everything I want with Consumer Cellular.
Their customer service is fabulous.
Customers are the #1 priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
We really appreciate the AARP discount.
AARP members get exclusive discounts.
It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number.
Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular.
Go with Consumer Cellular.
You're going to save a lot of money.
Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-368-8758. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. With both gun rights supporters and gun control advocates nationwide looking on, lawyers for Sandy Hook families and gun maker Remington Arms are set to face off today. The Connecticut Supreme Court hearing arguments on whether the company should be held liable for the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Hartford with the latest.
After nearly 5 years of heartbreak and legal battles, the parents of the Sandy Hook massacre are still determined to get justice for their children. And today they're taking their fight to the Supreme Court of Connecticut.
This case is unique because it's made its way to the Supreme Court of Connecticut, and no lawsuit before this has gone this far.
Their initial lawsuit against Remington Arms was thrown out of court last October, but the parents are asking to reinstate the wrongful death lawsuit against the company. Remington Arms made the AR-15 style Bushmaster rifle that the mass murderer used to kill 20 first graders and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Lawyers representing 9 families who lost loved ones and 1 wounded teacher argue Remington Arms purposely marketed a semi-automatic gun to the public, even though they knew it was made for military use and specifically designed to maximize casualties. The National Rifle Association counters that their claim threatens to eviscerate the gun company's legal protections. A federal law from 2005 offers widespread protection to firearms manufacturers and dealers from being held liable when crimes have been committed with their products.
That's going to be a pretty powerful argument, particularly for courts who believe it's not their job to create law, but rather to interpret existing laws.
Lawyers for the family admit this case will not have any drastic impact on federal law, but say the fact that it's made it here to the Supreme Court of Connecticut could have huge symbolic influence on many cases in the future. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Hartford, Connecticut.
Survivors of the Las Vegas mass shooting are using Facebook to contact the strangers that saved their lives. The Facebook page is called Find Your LV Hero and has helped now make more than 30 connections. It was started by Ashton Zier, who missed the concert by chance. Now she's helping people find people using clues like names, physical descriptions, or descriptions of the scene. Hate crimes are increasing at a record-breaking rate in the United States. The FBI's report puts more statistical weight behind the argument that the 2016 election coincided with the increase in hate crimes. In the days after the election, there was a spike in reported hate crimes, including racist slogans and hateful messages, especially in schools. 3 Sarasota County teachers got a huge surprise this morning, and ABC7 was there to capture each moment.
As she comes up here, there are members of her family that are here.
The annual teacher tribute tour bus tour stopped by the Booker Middle, Riverview High, and Venice Elementary schools this morning to surprise the finalists for Annual Teacher of the Year competition, and everyone was in on it except the winners.
All of us.
Overwhelmed and honored, and my father's here, and that's really nice, and it's really great to spend it with the guys I spend every day with.
They don't know we're coming. We're going to surprise them in their schools and recognize them as the Teacher of the Year for their grade level.
Each of the 3 finalists will receive a cash award from the Education Foundation. The overall District Teacher of the Year for 2018 will be announced next month. The middle school teacher of the year, by the way, was Allison Cohen from Booker Middle, and the elementary school teacher of the year, Bethany Burnett from Venice Elementary School. Our congratulations to them. What a day, and so neat that they can share it with all of their students as well.
Fantastic.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's just great, just great. Teachers are amazing. They're so dedicated.
Don't get enough credit.
They don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
It's such a hard job.
It is.
Good for them. We are looking at some beautiful weather today. A lot of blue sky out there, sunshine. It's nice to be out and about, walking around. You know, it's gorgeous out there. We love the Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion, and look how deep and blue the skies are. Really nice. Now, we get an occasional cloud, high-level cloud, kind of passing by from time to time, but it's nothing that's a real bother, and it's certainly nothing that's going to produce any rainfall for us. The satellite view showing pretty clear in terms of any kind of larger scale systems, but you see where the clouds are coming from. We've got some rain showers over on the other coast, kind of caused by the winds picking up a little moisture off the Atlantic waters and creating a few showers there before making it closer to the east coast. But those showers aren't going to move all the way across the coast into our area. We are looking at a dry day today here on the Suncoast with the daytime high in near the 80-degree mark, a little bit cooler than yesterday. As we head into the nighttime hours, I think we'll see the temperatures probably falling off a little faster than they did 24 hours ago because we're a few degrees cooler in our dew point value. A little drier air has moved in at the surface. Over the next several days, we'll see some beautiful weather, but then some changes coming up, and we will talk about that in a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Now to the latest on the Roy Moore scandal and new allegations of sexual assault. Another woman has come forward to say Moore sexually assaulted her when he was in his 30s and she was only a teenager. Moore is denying all allegations, but more than 20 Republicans have now called for Moore to drop out of the race, including House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Attorney General Jeff Sessions also saying today he has no reason to doubt women who have accused Moore. Beverly Young Nelson says that Moore was a regular in the restaurant where she worked as a teenager and offered to give her a ride home, but instead drove her behind the restaurant where she claims he became sexually aggressive. She fought him off, but she says he warned her to keep silent.
I tried fighting him off while yelling at him to stop.
I don't even know the woman. I don't know anything about her. I don't even know where the restaurant is or was.
Any person who believes that these allegations are not that bad, I don't want them to be part of the Republican Party.
Nelson is the 5th woman to accuse Moore, and Moore says nothing will force him out of the election, which is less now than a month away. Governor Rick Scott releasing his spending plan for the 2018 budget. The recommendation for lawmakers includes $180 million in tax cuts, $3.8 billion to preserve Florida's environment, including millions for Everglades restoration, a boost in education funding, $53 million to help fight the state's opioid epidemic, and $10.8 billion for transportation-related investments. Florida lawmakers will work on that budget when the session starts in January. Administrators at a Tampa middle school found a gun and ammunition in a 7th grader's backpack. A Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office news release says the 14-year-old boy was arrested yesterday at Webb Middle School. He was charged with possessing a firearm on school property and being a minor in possession of a firearm. The report says Tampa police had forwarded a tip that the 7th grader was selling drugs on school property and was known to carry a gun. A high school student took his life this morning while waiting at a bus stop in Central Florida. The school was on temporary lockdown while deputies investigated, but they released a statement saying they have reason to believe it was self-inflicted. A North Florida family sharing a heart-wrenching story about their pet dog being eaten by an alligator. A mother and son were spending their Saturday afternoon by a lake when an alligator came up and snatched one of their dogs. 8-year-old Easton Lowry tried to be the hero. When he saw the gator come out of the water, he ran to tell his mom, but by the time she got to the gator, it was just too late.
I started screaming because I realized my son was in almost that same area a few minutes before.
I mean, I should have felt lucky because I could have been the one taken by the gator.
Now they're hoping others heed their warning when, even though they've lived near the water their whole lives, they say they shouldn't have gotten comfortable. Florida Fish and Wildlife warns against standing too close to gators. An overnight fire in Mayaca City destroys a home. Mayaca City fire officials say no one was hurt in the fire, but some animals were killed. The house is a total loss, and they don't know yet how that fire started. A 72-year-old Sarasota man dies in a motorcycle crash. Troopers say he was not wearing a helmet. The front of the motorcycle hit a small ditch last night and fell onto its side. Troopers believe alcohol may have also been a factor in that crash. Happening tonight, two groups, Bright Ideas on the Gulf Coast and Cross College Alliance, are hosting an event called Mind the Gap. Hundreds of Suncoast College students have a chance to talk with over 50 local employers. The goal is to change the perception that there aren't enough competitive job opportunities in the area, which is the gap often cited by both students and employers. Mind the Gap happens from 5:30 to 8:30 on the Ringling College of Art and Design campus in the Ross Camp Exhibition Hall. Students can still register online to make sure they will have a seat at that event. And tomorrow, Sarasota County residents on a job hunt can apply for nearly 40 positions that will be open at a job fair. It'll be held at the Jacaranda Library in Venice from 10 a.m. until 1 in the afternoon. An endangered Florida panther is struck and killed by a car near Fort Myers. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says the male cat was about 6 years old. This is the 21st fatal collision this year out of 26 total panther deaths. Florida panthers once roamed the entire southeast U.S., but now their habitat is mostly confined to southwest Florida. Less than 300 panthers are estimated to remain in the wild. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Budweiser may lose its reigning title of King of Beers, why people are dropping the American classic.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 79-degree air temperature, a lot of sunshine out there. Dew point comes in at 65, and we have a breezy wind out of the east-northeast. That breezy wind will continue, I think, throughout the afternoon into the evening hours and maybe even into tomorrow. So boaters, pay attention to that. Temperature closing in on that 80-degree mark. We have 80 degrees Mayaca City, 79 Wauchula, 82 in Arcadia, 81 degrees in Northport, 80 in Venice, 79 Sarasota, 80 in Bradenton, and Parrish comes in at 79 degrees as well. So across the nation, big ridge of high pressure building in behind the front that moved through yesterday, bringing us a nice wind flow out of the northeast around that area of high pressure. And that means we've got a few showers over on the other coast picked up from the Atlantic waters, moisture from the Atlantic waters, and then kind of pushed back toward our east coast coastline. But those showers have a tough time making it across the state as the air is just kind of dry. So as soon as you remove the showers from the water of the Atlantic, the moisture content is cut off. There's not enough atmospheric moisture to support the transport of the showers, and they'll go away. 2 low-pressure areas and frontal boundaries we continue to monitor. The first one comes through on Saturday. That brings us a chance of some rain showers Saturday night, most likely, it looks like. And then on Sunday, we're going to cool down a little bit cooler than we have been in some time. We'll dip down in low 70s and maybe even see some morning 50s as we head into Monday morning. And then another frontal boundary, which actually will pass through here beyond our current 7-day forecast, possibly very close to Thanksgiving Day, may actually produce some temperatures that will be very chilly indeed, and perhaps bring some rain showers in or around Thanksgiving Day. So we'll be monitoring that as we head through the next 10 days, refining that forecast. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us. A few scattered showers over on the other coast. Dry conditions here locally. A lot of blue sky with maybe a few high-level fair weather clouds. Mostly sunny, breezy, and just a little bit cooler today than we saw yesterday, with temperatures coming in close to the 80 mark. Drier air aloft, indicated by the water vapor imagery here as tan colorizations across the entire peninsula, showing up as blue skies across the Suncoast. And that blue sky is going to give us just a beautiful sunset tonight as well, I think. Titan radar picking up a few of those scattered showers as they move from Atlantic waters onto land. They really do lose a lot of their intensity, so we don't expect these to influence our forecast too much, other than to give us a few fair weather clouds. The east looks great. All the eastern seaboard airport hubs running on time. Our Atlanta airport hub, no problems here. We've got a few scattered showers in the open plains, but it's back to the west where the weather is today, and there they could see some pretty good downpours of rain. But our futurecast shows that continuation of that northeast wind taking the showers, pushing them onshore. They dissipate soon after. We get a little bit of the cloud cover, and that should really carry us right straight through Thursday. And then we'll be monitoring that next frontal approach as we get into Saturday and then the cool down on Sunday. So north wind coming in at about 15 knots, boaters surging a little tonight. Moderate chop to choppy conditions with 2 to 4 foot seas. And the official Suncoast forecast calls for some chillier temperatures as we head into the beginning of next work week. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Drivers may have noticed gas prices have risen over the last couple of weeks. The reason, a combination of fears of instability in the Middle East and stronger global economic growth. The good news, gas prices are expected to go down again. But one place consumers are likely to feel the pinch is airfares. Jet fuel accounts for about 1/3 of an airline's operating cost, meaning airlines may likely raise ticket prices very soon. We'll talk about a turkey of an idea. Thanksgiving just got a little easier for those who like to go back for seconds, maybe even thirds. Stovetop Stuffing has designed unisex pants with an elastic waistband. They're not the most flattering, as you might imagine, but they do benefit a good cause if you want to buy them. Yeah, those are not good looking at all. But the company is donating $10,000 to the proceeds of the sales to the Feeding America charity. Conversation point around the table, that's for sure. Well, Chipotle says it's not to blame for an actor's illness despite his claims on social media. Supergirl actor Jeremy Jordan blaming the Mexican restaurant via Instagram for getting him sick and putting him in the hospital. But a Chipotle spokesman says they investigated the situation and no one else reported claims of illness from that restaurant. Still, Chipotle's stock dropped on Monday, and since 2015, the restaurants have been plagued by outbreaks of E. coli and norovirus, causing hundreds of people to get sick. Some bad news for Budweiser. Apparently not as many people are grabbing a Bud anymore. Mary Maloney has more.
Americans' tastes are changing. On tap, fancier craft beers and microbrews, wine and spirits, instead of a good old Bud. Even when America was branded on bottles and cans, this Bud wasn't for you. Last quarter, Budweiser's parent company, Anheuser-Busch InBev, reported sales in the U.S. dropped more than 5%. It's not just Budweiser. The maker of Coors Light and Miller Lite also saw sales slump nearly 3% last quarter. But the owner of Modelo and Corona saw sales increase 13% in the same time period. So to kickstart sales, Budweiser plans to turn back time, releasing its old Prohibition-era lager, 1933 Repeal and Reserve Amber Lager. Budweiser hopes the nostalgia, along with the higher alcohol content, may make the holiday season a little sweeter for the company. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Astronauts are getting a mouth-watering haul with the latest Earth-to-space delivery, pizza and ice cream. A commercial supply ship arrived at the International Space Station today. Besides equipment and experiments, the capsule holds some things that the astronauts are most looking forward to: chocolate and vanilla ice cream for the 6 station astronauts, as well as make your own flatbread pizzas. Should be good. NASA has scrapped this morning's planned launch of a satellite. The launch of the Joint Polar Satellite System was scrapped with just 66 seconds left in today's launch window. It's unclear why that launch did not happen, but it's believed another attempt may be tried tomorrow from their launch pad in California. Iran is trying to recover from the world's deadliest earthquake so far this year. According to their state-run news agency, the country's death toll has risen now to 530. It was felt as far away as Pakistan and Turkey. New video shows the magnitude of the destruction in Iran. Some villages were destroyed. Thousands of people were hurt. Many survivors are now sleeping in camps or in the streets in bitterly cold weather. Still to come, Broadway star Lin-Manuel Miranda and his wife are teaming up against climate change. Fundraisers can help save the world and win some Hamilton tickets at the same time.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this. Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is at it again. He and his wife are teaming up with the fundraising website, I think it's either Prizo or Prizio, to raise money for groups that fight climate change. One donor gets an all-expenses-paid trip to London to see Hamilton there, and then attend the cast party afterward. That's pretty cool. Mattel has unveiled a new Barbie created in honor of Olympic fencer Ibtihaj Muhammad. Last year, Muhammad became the first American Olympian to compete while wearing a hijab. The new doll, which is the first Barbie to ever wear one, will be available starting next year. Well, lawn bowling is more than just a fun backyard game. The best lawn bowlers in the country are here on the Suncoast this week for the Lawn Bowling U.S. Open Championships. Last year, the event was seen by over 2,000 spectators, with players from a dozen countries competing for prize money and medals. This year, even more competitors have entered from 16 different countries.
Last year we had about 225 competitors. This year about 276. So it's going quite well. A lot of competition from around the world. Today in the finals we have Northern Ireland against the Jersey Isles. Great competition, great competitors, great camaraderie.
The Lawn Bowling Championships continue through this Saturday, November 18th, at the Sarasota Lawn Bowling Club, right along US 41, downtown Sarasota. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Could they get better weather for this? I mean, my
No.
gosh.
No.
It's so nice.
It's a great outdoor sport. I love it.
I've never tried it. Yeah, it looks fun.
It's fun. It's good. It's kind of like outdoor shuffleboard, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice in a way.
Have a great day, everyone. See you later.